Good morning. Welcome to our slow flow class this morning. My name is Kristen and I'm glad you are joining in. We are, today is June 5th and it's a full moon, so we will be working through the moon salutations, Chandra Namaskar. So typically we take the Surya Namaskar in our classes, the sun salutations, to stimulate our central nervous system. So the moon salutations are a really wonderful grounding sequence. I encourage you to flag this class. It's one that whenever I'm feeling overwhelmed or kind of at a loss for what to do next, this sequence kind of always brings me back. It grounds me. It helps me kind of focus back in on really what's important and really pertinent right now. So I've encouraged folks to start on their backs. And I'm going to continue reading into Melody Beattie's Journey to the Heart. So I think slow flow is a perfect example of letting go and not feeling like you need to prove anything with any fancy postures or balance, or you come as you are and you move slowly in a mindful, thoughtful way. So her reading today is titled, "What Are You Trying to Prove?" You don't have to prove anything to anyone, not even to yourself. A subconscious desire to prove ourselves may be hiding at the root of our fears, the root of our tension, the root of our need to do and be more. Accompanying it can be a burning belief that we aren't good enough, that we need to compensate for some deficiency in ourselves in order to take our place in this earth. We may feel like we have to earn our place, earn our right to be here, like we're being watched and judged or graded. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You are fine just the way you are. You have energy and vitality. You have particular gifts and talents. You have been learning your lessons just right in your life. Let go of the need to prove yourself to others, to your parents, to people from the past, and people in your life today. Could it be the one you've really been trying to prove something to is yourself? The answer is simple. Learn to approve of yourself. Love and accept yourself the way you are today. Then step right up and take your place in this universe. Settling into whatever position you have chosen, I want you to think about these two lines that spoke to me. The answer is simple. Learn to approve of yourself. Love and accept yourself the way you are today. I mention that in most every yoga class I teach, that we show up on our mat, and this practice is about honoring the body that showed up today. Not the body that you want, or that you're trying to prove something to, or the body that you used to have that you thought was so great. So the body that showed up to your mat in this moment. That is the body, the person, not that you need to prove anything to, that you need to approve, that you need to love and cherish and be kind and compassionate to. So we will find a few more breaths as we continue to show up for ourselves on our mat. You might take a bit of a body scan to check in. If you're feeling tight in any areas, or if you're feeling particularly open or awake or tired or sore, or maybe you're just feeling really good. Honor what comes up for you. Good. If your arms came out nice and wide here, let's just start to slowly slide them back down towards your seat. If your legs came long, bend into your knees. And let's just take some movement side to side. Windshield wiper the knees back and forth. Good. Let's take a supine twist here. So I'm going to shift my hips all the way to the right side of the mat, letting my knees drop to the left. And you can still take this if you're reclined onto a pillow, or you can scoot those props out of the way. Good, let's bring knees back up to center. Here we'll shift the hips to the left, knees to the right. Embrace this twist on this side. Good, bring it back up to center. You might find the knees moving back and forth once again, or maybe you bring them in for a squeeze and rock side to side. Good. Slowly we'll roll off to one side and just push on up to a tabletop. You can move your props off to the side. Move in ways that feel good in your body in this moment. Again, letting go of that idea or the mindset of needing to prove something, and shift that mindset of approval and acceptance. Good, continue. A few more rounds of breath and movement, just listening to what your body needs. Whether that is finding some stillness in a stretch or continuous movement. We've got lots of lunges throughout our moon salutation, but let's warm it up here. I'm going to take my block over to the left side of my mat, helping my right foot forward. I'm going to scoot my left knee back a little bit in space, working on opening hip flexor and psoas, Lengthening the quad on the left side. Good. Might feel better for you to keep the torso down a little bit, and that's okay. Maybe you utilize a prop to lift the torso up. Favorite combo here, we'll take it, shift the hips back, flex the right toes up towards the ceiling. Good, let's bring it off to the other side. So block and come towards the right side if you like it. Left side comes on up. Honor the differences you feel here. Good, we'll bring it back. Calf, hamstring stretch on the other side. For me, this side feels real tight. So again, I don't need to prove anything of how far I can fold into this. Great, let's come back to our tabletop. And if you've got something that is a block or resembles a block, let's set it off to think about the long edge of your mat off to the left side if you were facing the long edge of the mat. So come back to tabletop here. And again, you can always reach for it if you need it. All right, find your way to down dog here. I think we've got, when I teach this class, a total of 2 downward facing dogs. One now, and then one at the end of class as we make our way down to the mat. Pedaling into each calf. Good. Start to slowly walk your feet towards your hands to your first forward fold. I'm going to bring my hands to my calves, give them a little rub, maybe knuckles onto the hamstrings. I feel really tight. My head is heavy here, shoulders heavy, arms heavy, to really lengthen the back, the hamstrings. You know, the last 2 mornings, it's interesting to think the first time I've taken a forward fold, standing forward fold like this, I've yawned, and I've been up for a while, both days. It's interesting to me. There's probably something in the body with the blood rushing to my head that my body's like, yawn, give me some oxygen. Have to look into that. Good. Bring hands to shins here. Find halfway lift. I know yesterday I really tried to stifle it. Today I welcomed it in, being like, again, I have the sensation to yawn in this first forward fold. Interesting. Good. Find another halfway lift. And we'll come back to last fold here. Good. Slowly bring your hands to your shins and let's just walk them up towards our knees. Give knees a little rub here. Squeezing at the thighs. Slow head, neck, and shoulders lift. Good. We start in our mountain pose, and you can take it along the length of the mat, just as I am here. And then we move in kind of these lateral movements, circular movements. If I were to be teaching this class in a studio, we'd take it one side and then we'd come back and take it the other side, but that would mean you'd see a lot of my backside. So we don't need that on this Friday morning. So we'll start in our Tadasana mountain pose. Roll the shoulders back. We find an engagement of the quadriceps to lift the kneecaps, give a little wiggle of the toes, belly in nice and tight. So this is more than just standing here. It's a powerful, rooted pose that is the start of our moon salutation sequence. Good. As we inhale here, sweep your arms up nice and slow towards your ceiling. Let your right hand grab your left wrist. Let's lean to the right. Standing half moon. Open the left side. Good. Come back up through center. Switch the grip. We open the right side. Back up through center. Palms to touch. Hands to heart. Step it out to find our first goddess pose here. And nothing to prove. All right, let's keep hands at heart for this goddess and just take a pulse. So we'll get right into this movement, finding our thighs. And traditionally, I usually start the sequence to the right, but today we'll start it to the left just to shift it up a little bit. Stay in this pulse here. Feel shoulders over hips, thighs feel really nice and strong. Feel that great energy in between your hands. We'll stay here for another few pulses. Take a full breath in with me here. And a full breath out. Good. Straighten into your legs. Let's find our star pose. All 10 toes forward. Arms reach. Feel like you're ready for a giant hug. Good. Shift the left toes towards the short edge of the mat on your left side. Triangle pose. Hips shift. Reach. I'm coming for that block. Right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Feel the right side body open. Left. Here's where I want you to breathe into the left side body. So I've got a lot of compression here. Goal here is to lengthen the left side just like the right. Actively reaching. Great stretch to the inner thigh on the left side. Good. Do a little bit of neck work here. So gaze down at your left foot. Gaze straight ahead. Gaze up at the right hand. Good. Let's take it back straight ahead and back down. Good. All right. We'll come up and out of this pyramid pose. So pivot to face the short edge of the mat, hinging over your left leg here. Draw the left hip back. Saying good morning to the hamstring here. Working to bring the right hip forward. Surrender into this pyramid pose as much. Finding that balance of effort and ease. So you've got that good stretch going, but you can still take your nice full inhales and exhales. To come out of this, you can stay hinged forward. Bend the left knee. We'll just slide the right toes back. Low lunge, Anjaneyasana. So if you are looking for a little bit more active posture here, tuck the right toes, and you can take this even more into a projected or a high lunge, or accept the support of the mat, maybe your block. Hands could stay down, or they could reach and lift. And this is our second lunge of class. So I should feel a little bit open here. I'm going to bring my hands down. We'll prep for our shift here to our Skandasana side lunge. Tuck your toes, your right toes, to pull the right knee off the mat. Pivot towards the long edge. Good, extend, right leg is long, toes flexed. So that is engaging the entire right leg. You've got balance going on your left side. Hands might come to heart. They might lift. Gaze might lift. Good. Excellent work. Take what version of this posture works best in your body. If hands lifted, bring them back down. I'm setting up my block at the center back part of my mat. Push down into that left side to lift the hips. Heel toe the feet in. Malasana, our yogi squat. Good. Find a sense of peace and grounding here at the center of our first side. Arms can extend long. So traditionally in yoga, when we've got our palms up, that's a sign that we are open to receiving good energy. If you're looking to stay a little bit more grounded in your body, you could bring palms to your thighs or to your heart or hands to heart center. But I am feeling the good energy, sending you good energy this morning. To come out of this, we push down to lift the hips. I'm going to grab my block. Step the right foot out, deep bend in the right knee, left leg extends. Again, think about engaging the quad, flexing the left toes, making this an active posture. Balance feels way different on this side, so I'm gonna keep my hands down. Or maybe just with one arm lifting, utilizing my block. Great work, you guys. We shift to our Anjaneyasana low lunge, pivot towards the right foot. You can keep that left knee lifted if that version feels best for you, or drop it on down. So I just turn to face the book I've got here. Those lines again, the answer is simple. Learn to approve of yourself. Love and accept yourself the way you are today. So in this low lunge, my hips don't feel good. And it's hard to find that love and acceptance when you might feel pain or discomfort in your body. Good, we're finding our pyramid pose here. So tuck the left toes. Let's straighten into the right leg, and we've got way too long of a stance here. So hop that left foot in a little bit. Hinge at the hips. I like to take my block to the tall setting. Think about that action of drawing the right hip back as your left seat nudges forward. And it's a really, really subtle movement, but a really important one to square our hips, to level our hips off. All right, we're shifting to our triangle pose. So for this one, I like to come up and out. This feels better, my hips to come out. I shift the left toes and then come on into it. So shifting the hips back, right arm comes down, left arm, good. And think about, how do you find length in the right side? Start by looking at up at the left hand, straight ahead, and down at the right foot. Good, take it back through center and up, good work. And then land where it's most comfortable for your neck, your gaze. Good, I'm going to set my block to the right side, coming on up here. We find our star pose, all 10 toes forward here. Oh, I feel like you're ready for a big hug. Good, goddess, 2 of 4. So heel toe those feet in a little bit. And you check in. If you're wanting to send and receive some good energy, maybe you keep your palms out, or if you're really looking to go inward and ground, bring your hands to your heart. Let's go low. Find that low spot for your or your goddess, and just take this side to side movement. Slow, mindful strength here. Good, let's take one more sway to each side. Great work, straightening into your legs. Step the feet in, reach the arms up. Right hand grabs your left wrist. Find that standing half moon, creating that crescent moon shape with your body. Back up through center. Switch your grip, opening the right side. Back through center, palms touch, and hands to heart. Beautiful job, you guys. Let's come back to our Tadasana mountain pose. Take water, take whatever you need, and we'll meet back in this strong, rooted, grounded posture. Give the toes a little bit of a wiggle here. I love to do that in order to find the ball mound of my foot right underneath my pinky toe and my full heel, and then you can kind of set the toes back down, roll the shoulders back, keeping everything nice and tight. Our mountain pose, rooted and grounded. Let's take one more breath here together. Good. Inhale, take the arms up overhead. Right hand grabs left wrist. Lean on over to the right. This time I want you to think about rolling the left shoulder back just a tiny bit, and you might shift your gaze under the left arm. Good, come back up through center here. Switch the grip. Nudge the right shoulder back, gaze could come right. Inhale, back up through center. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Goddess, 3 of 4, step it out. Good, we're gonna do a little bit of calf work here. So we'll sink in to our goddess, lift your right heel. So for me, sometimes I need to shorten my stance just a little bit, and let's take this pulse with the heel lifted. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, now stay low, lower the heel, and lift the heel. Good, for 5, 4, oh, my ankle just cracked, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Come up, reset, and sink back in. Good, lift the left heel, and we're just pulsing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Stay low, lower the heel, and lift for 5. Hoo-wee. 4. Good job, you guys. Last 2. And 1. Great job. Both heels lift. Just here in this hold for 10, 9, 8, 7. Find that shake. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. All right, all 10 toes forward, arms reach. Let's interlace our hands at our low back. We're gonna add on a little bit. Roll the shoulders back. When doing that, I want you to make sure to keep the low ribs tucked in. So just focusing on the shoulders, gaze could come up. Pulling your shoulder blades together like I am sliding a pencil in between them. Good. Let's unravel, bring hands in front. Pull knuckles down towards the floor. Spread the shoulder blades. You can tuck chin towards chest here. Good. Come back. One more star pose. Hands to hips. Shift the right toes. And we are coming into our triangle on this side. Find length. Keep that length in the right side body. Then hinge. This is a hard posture for me to really find length. Almost taking one hand into my thigh and really trying to lengthen my right side. Benefit of seeing yourself on a video screen for the last 2.5, almost 3 months of, again, thinking back to that saying or that reading, what are you trying to prove? Not trying to prove anything, but finding the best version of these postures in my body today. And when you get to see yourself on video multiple times a day, you're like, oh, I could lengthen a little bit here, or I could do a little bit there, but be kind. All right, we're coming into our pyramid pose. I like to come up and out, pivot towards the top edge of the mat, or what's the top edge of our mat now, hinging forward. And this time I'm going to surrender a little bit more, so it depends on hamstring flexibility. For me, I'm really craving to either lift my right toes or hinge a little bit more forward. And everyone's hamstrings are different. Think about when you come into this again, that subtle draw of the right hip back in space. Let's re-bend or bend into the right knee. Find your low lunge by scooting the left toes back. Find the best version for your body today. And we've been here before, so set the judgment aside of what it felt like before or what you think it should feel like now. And just sit with what you are feeling in this moment. Good, we'll start to shift to our side lunge here, tucking the left toes to pivot towards the long edge of the mat. Again, stay grounded by keeping some touch points on your mat on the earth, or if you're looking for a little bit more balance, you can lift those arms. Taking this nice stretch into the right foot. Let's find our malasana here. Encourage you, find a block or something that can support you in your seat, a pillow. Drop the hips down. You can think about open hands, receiving energy, or hands close to heart to go inward. Let's take 2 more breaths here together. Inhaling through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Good, one more round. Good work, you guys. Push down to lift up just a little bit. Take this side lunge off to the side. Let it go here. Good job. These side lunges feel so good to lengthen the inner thigh. Let's move to our last Anjaneyasana. Pivoting towards the left foot, hands can come to the inside or perhaps they frame. Good, breathe well. Take what you need from this posture, set aside what you don't or what comes up for you that just doesn't serve you. Good, we're coming to our last pyramid pose. So straightening into the left leg, up, those right toes up a little bit. You can always come up and out if that feels better in your body. Pull the left hip back. Give yourself those reminders to stay in this. Finding every time we hit these familiar postures, finding something new. That's a fine line, finding something new without trying to prove something. That love and acceptance for exactly where we are at. Good, we come to our last triangle pose here. So some like to just open up into this. I much prefer to come up and out and come back into it. It feels better shifting in my hips. Good, triangle on the left side. Sink in, notice where the gaze is most comfortable in your body. For me, it is pretty much 9 times out of 10 looking straight down. Good, we'll use our right side oblique to lift us up and out. Find your star pose, all 10 toes. Good, let's find eagle arms here. Right arm underneath your left, hands can rest on your shoulders here, or palms connect. Lift the elbows. Good. And we'll shift from that star pose. Let's shift on into our goddess here with eagle arms. You can drop on down. Still with those eagle arms, you might invite some movement. Good. Let's find opposite side eagle arms. So open and sink back in. Opposite arm under. Invite that movement or honor your need for stillness. Good. All right, let's open up the arms. Let's take some side body opening here. Right forearm to right thigh, left arm reaches. We've done lots of side body opening. That's a big part of this sequence. Good. Come back through center, creating these crescent moon shapes. So goal here to open up the side body to create more room for deeper, more intentional breath. Good, come on back through center here. Bring your hands to your thighs, hinge at the hips. Drop your right shoulder, gaze over the left. Good, let's take it to the other side. Great work. Back to center. Hands walk their way up their thighs. Last little bit here. Let's pulse it down for 10, 9. Find that goddess in you who has nothing to prove to yourself or anyone else. Be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great work. Straighten into your legs. Heel toe the feet in or step them in. One more round of standing half moon. Good. Arms reach up. Left hand grabs your right wrist. Lean to the left, open to the right. Back up through center. Switch the grip. Good. Up through center. One final, hands to heart. Beautiful work. Good, we'll come to face, you can turn towards the top edge of the mat. Inhale, let's find our extended mountain pose. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Take this really, really slow to our forward fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, let's plant our hands. Step it on back to find your high plank. Good, drop down to your knees here and we're lowering all the way down. Take your right facial cheek to the mat. Goal post your arms, slide your left knee up. This half crocodile is one of my favorites. If you are expecting, you could always just take this on your side. Actually, that's honestly a good position to be. So it's not as comfortable as accepting a supportive before, but so you can stay in a side position or down on to your belly. Good. Let's shift it off to the other side. So slide the left leg back, left facial cheek to the mat, and now right knee slides on up. And again, if you're with baby, roll on to the left side and pull the right knee up. You could even take a pillow underneath your torso as well. About 2 more breaths here. Good. Bring your right leg back. Let's come on back to child's pose here. So big toes come towards one another. Reach for a pillow or bolster or blanket to recline onto, or fold onto, I should say. If you prefer to stay on all fours and find some movement, that's a great place to be as well. Good. We'll come up and out of that child's pose. Slide the knees back underneath the hips if they're not there already, and find some movement on all fours. We're going to make our way down to our back, so come to the side lying position. You can certainly have a pillow or something that gives you a little bit of incline. Roll onto your back here, and we're going to shift our hips all the way over to the right side of the mat. Drop the knees towards the left, and open up the arms, supine twist. Feel the chest on the right side open, that right shoulder dropping down towards the earth. Imagine we are in studio at Haumea right now. My most favorite assist is bringing a hand gently to that space in the chest shoulder and other hand to the top of the right knee, and helping you experience this twist a bit deeper. Probably my favorite assist. Good. Come back up through center. We shift the hips. I said that on the other side. The hips to the left. Wanted to say shift the lips to the left, but hips would be better. Oh, good. I don't know what the scientific name is for that, but I do that a lot where I switch the consonant of, the first consonant of each word. Good. Let's come on back to center here. I am going to take legs up the wall. So I've got my block, lifting my seat. Legs up the wall is another fantastic grounding posture to calm the nervous system, to help with anxiety, feelings of overwhelm. So it's a lot of pressure on our abdomen here to lift both knees at once you're on the block. So I'm lifting one leg, lifting the other. Typically, I just swing the legs up, and I'm feeling that in my core of like, that was a lot of pressure. And abdominal pressure is very different than abdominal strengthening. So you think of times where you're crunching, and that's a lot of pressure in our abdomen, where there's way more other functional strengthening, stabilizing moves that we can take. Good. Slowly, I'm going to lower both knees down. Good, just like our dead bug pose. So we did this morning in strong. Knees over, hips. Good. Whew. Engage that core, good work. All right, slowly lowering both feet down to the mat. Lift the hips to remove a block if you brought it back. Let's take soles of the feet together. Let your knees open up wide. Feel that big external rotation in the hips. Check in to see if there are any final movements that your body is craving. For me, I am craving happy baby. So bringing the knees in for a squeeze, giving my low back a little bit of a massage. Check in, my friends. Is there anything else you need prior to your final rest in your Shavasana? If not, when you are ready, let your legs go long. Arms come down at your sides. Think about that palms up versus palms down. If you're looking for a little bit more grounding, calming effect, flip the hands down on your mat or on the earth next to you. If you want to receive some energy, uplifting energy, palms are up. Let go. Surrender. Give yourself full approval for the person and the body and the heart and the spirit and the soul that you are in this very moment. 100% full, heartfelt, sincere approval. June 5th. What are you trying to prove? You don't have to prove anything to anyone, not even to yourself. A subconscious desire to prove ourselves may be hiding at the root of our fears, the root of our tension, and the root of our need to do and be more. Accompanying it can be a burning belief that we aren't good enough, that we need to compensate for some deficiency in ourselves in order to take our place on this planet. We may feel like we need to earn our place, to earn our right to be here, like we're being watched and judged and graded. You do not have to prove anything to anyone. You're fine just the way you are. You have energy, life, vitality. You have gifts and talents. You have been learning your lessons just right in your life. Let go of the need to prove yourself to others, to parents, people from the past, people in your life today. Could it be the one you've really been trying to prove something to is yourself? The answer is simple. Learn to approve of yourself. Love and accept yourself the way you are today. Then step right up and take your place in this universe. Love and accept yourself just the way you are today. I think those are hard words in the world we are living in right now. So many people that are forgetting love and acceptance for others. First and foremost, we find it within. We examine that love and acceptance for ourselves. And then we take that outward. We find that love and acceptance for others. In your time, my friends, we will make our way to a tall seat. We will take both hands over our heart space, drop the chin towards chest. We bow in gratitude for this practice and all of the things it brings up for us. And we do our best to let go of feeling like we need to prove to ourselves, to others. We shift that mindset to approval and love and acceptance. Let's take 3 breaths here together to close our practice. Deep breath in and full breath out. Inhale and exhale. Deepest breath yet. And release. Let your hands join one another at heart. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking time to move and breathe and love and accept. Let's send that off of our mats to those who need it most. As always, the light and love in me sees and respects the light and love in you. Namaste. Thank you from, again, the bottom of my heart for joining in. Have a beautiful and safe weekend.